for the WWOZ interview. Yasiin, clearly New Orleans has meant a lot to you and that you have contributed much to it post-federal flood here, both the common ground and other benefits. Could you talk about how New Orleans music first affected you and its continuing effect?
Well, um, New Orleans music and culture, I think, has had an impact and effect on people who may not even realize.
Realize it, yeah.
I was just reading a sign here in the studio that said, "I'm not sure, but I think all music comes from New Orleans."
Yeah, the
So,
emperor.
yeah. So in that regard, um, yeah, it's just I mean, my relationship with jazz alone. Uh, I'm a huge fan of big brass music and the work of Mannie Fresh and
Mm-hmm.
so many great New Orleans artists, Alan Toussaint, and it was on and on. So I mean, everybody from uh, the Wild Magnolias to Lil Wayne to
Right.
Sissy Nobi.
And you play piano.
Yes, I play piano, not as well as I would like, but I do play.
Who are some of your favorite New Orleans piano players?
Um, Favorite New Orleans piano players. Well, I couldn't say exactly. I don't have that much knowledge of like New Orleans piano players. I know just piano players that I like. Andrew Hill is I'm a big
Oh,
Andrew Hill
really?
fan. I like
Yeah.
Andrew Hill very much.
Mm.
Monk, of course.
Yeah.
Um, my dad, my dad is a fine piano player.
Mm.
Uh, I'd have to say Monk is my favorite. McCoy Tyner. Actually, McCoy Tyner and I share a birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Robert Glasper is another wonderful piano player.
Mm-hmm. And he was on the bill with you
Yeah, he was
last
on
night.
the bill last night.
How did you feel about that particular bill? Let me uh, pass along to the listeners who that was. That was Yasiin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, and Erica Badu, and Robert Glasper, and Donald Harrison, and his Indian tribe, and the Hot Eight Bass Band. It was a really nice
Yeah,
mix of people.
it was a good mix of people. I felt really it was nice to have all those people in the room. Erica just always gives us such a phenomenal show. It's just like
Mm.
so seamless and
Mm-hmm.
just, you know,
You and she go back like 15, 20 years. You kind of
yeah,
came up together.
yeah, quite a long while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite a long while ago, but there's some history there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so it's always good to work with her and to just get a chance to experience her artistry and just
Mm-hmm.
touch base and say hey and catch up. It was really good. I really enjoyed myself last night. It's been the first time I've been back to New Orleans since the last hurricane. So it's nice.
Right. So yeah, we have tried to put in a hurricane between each visit.
Well,
Keep it lively.
God willing, it won't be that long before I'm here.
Tell me what you feel here that feels special to you.
I guess it's like with anything that's really dynamic in someone's life is that it's beyond what you can really kind of describe.
You know, we were talking earlier about Malik and Common Ground. His son Dietrich said something to me that I've never forgotten. It's that people can do things here every day that they can't do anywhere else any day.
That's some wonderful description.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very appropriate. Um, there's also there's the sweet, there's the bitter also about the city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just found a lot of inspiration and beauty and um, truth here.
Mm-hmm. You first came in 2006, is that right?
I first came
After the
in
flood. It was kind
2006,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it was quite a wreck then, huh?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
yeah.
I had the instinct to move down here right then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, people always say that about New Orleans. It's magical. It's mystical. It's just something here. It's just.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it was an argument between a husband and a wife.
I wish people could see you now because you're smiling as you speak.
And the wife asked the husband, she goes, "You say you love me?" He goes, "Yes." She says, "Why do you love me?" And the husband goes, "I don't care. I don't care why I love you. I just know that I do." And it was, I think it applies to, that question, like, what is it about New Orleans? You can't really say. You can say so many things, but you know, the unanimous consensus is that,
Whenever New Orleans asks you to articulate its love, your love for it, you
yeah,
just say
I
you don't
do.
care, but you do.
I do. I don't care. I know that I do.
Right. So, uh, many listeners probably already know, but to let everyone know, you are in the process of releasing an album with Mannie Fresh of New Orleans
Yes.
called Black Jesus.
Well, that's one of the cuts
Oh, I'm
is
sorry.
on called Black Jesus. I mean, that's
Okay.
actually a pretty good title for an album.
Hmm.
So we may do that. But yeah, me and Manny have been working on this uh on and off since September of last year.
Hmm.
Just at a pretty even pace. No, just urgently enough. Not any pressure from a record label or corporation.
That's right. You're both independent now, huh? You
Very
don't have any
independent,
ties. Yeah.
which is exciting, and I don't want to say uncertain, but I'm embracing the uncertainty of that.
It opens up a lot of possibilities and challenges, but I think
Yes,
they'll all be good to overcome.
yes,
You'll be able to reach the audience directly in this ever expanding digital universe.
yeah. And I mean, it also creates an environment around the creation of the work
Right.
that is not it's not harried or like,
Strictly creation driven.
it's
Yeah.
strictly creation driven,
Yeah.
and the focus is really on, creating the best work. And I mean, I s- I'm really, really grateful and feel really fortunate to be able to even have that type of enthusiasm and access to Manny, because I
Hmm.
mean
He's great. He's true. He's
he's he's
he's
he's,
about
he's the real
the
deal.
creation.
He's
Yeah.
the real deal, and he's only getting better,
Hmm.
which is also really encouraging as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it. I really love this city, man. This city's
Yeah.
it's an amazing place. It's an amazing place.
Hmm.
And yeah.
So you should live here.
I was living here from 2009 until just when the hurricane came, and I went to Houston
Ah.
for a while. Me and Manny were doing work there, and that's where I'm currently at now.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I'll be frank with you. New Orleans has some unique challenges.
Hmm.
I have a young family, and
Hmm.
I know there are many people with children
Hmm.
and families that are here experiencing,
Hmm.
the same or similar challenges.
Hmm.
Um, and I've been fortunate enough to see, you know, the shape of the world these days.
Hmm.
And there's trouble everywhere. There's always going to be challenges everywhere, but
Hmm.
there's some really bright spots
Hmm.
all across this earth these days.
Yeah.
Contrary to what the prevailing notions may be.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love Brooklyn as well, but sometimes you have to move away to make a way, not because you lose love or you're afraid or anything like this. Sometimes it's just a practical issue.
Right.
But as every time that I come back into the city, it's like it's just beyond description.
Hmm. Can we look forward to the full album by the end of the year? I have to ask because I
Oh, and
think.
I would love to. But what I'm also working on besides just like releasing music is releasing my written rhymes. Um,
You're gonna publish your
I
rhymes?
published
Okay.
one rhyme that was actually printed in the New York Magazine. It was a commentary about Barclays Center in
Right.
Brooklyn, and I'm looking to do that more. Um, hopefully I'll work with some. I have some ideas. I'd like to approach some folks like Barbara Kruger and Glenn Ligon and
Mm-hmm.
other artists that work,
Mm-hmm.
visual artists that work, heavily with text,
Right.
and see if there's some interest there to, reprint some of these, especially these new pieces that I've been writing. It's really kind of
Mm-hmm.
inspiring time.
Kind of like those illuminated manuscripts of the 14th and 15th century.
Similar, but I
Yeah,
mean, in a new medium,
you're right.
in the internet, and
Right.
Barbara Kruger just really had a wonderful. She printed a letter in response to there's a clothing brand in New York called Supreme,
Mm-hmm.
who derived their logo from some of her artwork, and
Mm-hmm.
it's known
Mm-hmm.
that they appropriated from her.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, there's another clothing brand that has appropriated the Supreme logo, uh, and uh, Supreme sued this brand because the second brand, Married to the Mom,
Uh-huh.
went to go apply for
Mm-hmm.
a copyright
Right. Right.
for their logo.
Right.
So it's an appropriation of appropriation,
Uh,
and they sued this brand for quite a large sum, $10 million, and Barbara Kruger responded
match
to
that?
the lawsuit, and it's
Uh-huh.
really amazing. But I mean, the response in and of itself is just two sentences, but it's beautiful. It's
Mm-hmm.
you know white black against a white background, and it looks like like a Barbara Kruger work.
Mm.
But I Glenn Ligon and other artists, they really put the emphasis on highlighting language,
Mm-hmm.
um, and making just making a literal connection to the work. I think
Mm-hmm.
right now the only way to get published as an MC is to have a record deal or to record a song.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always strived to have literary impact, so that
Mm-hmm.
if in the absence of my voice or in the absence of the musical
I think it would be
element.
very good. A lot of, the great lyricists of hip hop have been underappreciated because there hasn't been a print reference
Right,
right there.
right,
People could see what Khalid was actually saying and
right.
Biggie, Tupac,
Yeah, yeah,
etc.
yeah.
It seems like it's getting even denser too. I just happened to hear this morning Lauryn Hill's new track
Oh my
had speed rap
goodness.
Neurotic Society.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think this is the most challenging and exciting record of man, like the last
Mm-hmm.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming from someone of her stature and success.
Mm-hmm.
Not only what she's saying, but the way she's saying, the way that it's framed,
Mm-hmm.
the urgency of
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it's almost like past entertainment value.
It's right. It's kind of with the intensity of speed metal, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, such a command of language, and I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and the truth in what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so impressed that she's really, it's the most earnest thing that I've heard from an MC in a long, long time. I mean,
Right.
it's really right out there on the edge,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I think you and Manny are getting there. I mean, his beats for the Black Jesus track are the most
yeah,
complex beats I've heard from him.
yeah, we have some
And
complex
you're
work.
and the musicality of what you're doing there, the call and
Yeah,
response
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. We have some complex work. There's a couple of ones. Leader of the Gang is a favorite. There's another one that I started to do last night called Young Love Never Dies.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorites. It's a classic. It's what people might expect from Mannie Fresh, but it's totally different. When we get it right, I would like to
Mm.
premiere it here, just
Oh,
play
that
it
would be
for
so lovely.
just at least it's just some
Mm-hmm.
snippets, one or two, three songs.
Sure.
I think it'd be. Interested to hear the feedback. I used to be you know not resistant, but I um hesitant to hear negative feedback to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm less so
Mm-hmm.
because there's some critique is not critique at all. It's just like attack.
Right.
But it's good to hear what people think and how they're connecting to it without feeling uh, too hypersensitive about it or feeling like judged. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a new place that I'm approaching. It's like, well, it's people's, people can like it, they can not like it. I think I've always had that
Mm.
attitude, but it's more even now where it's just like, whatever people have to say about it is just kind of information at this point.
Right.
It doesn't inform my experience with the work.
Right.
It doesn't make me disconnect from it in
Mm-hmm.
some sort of way or judge it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if other people are judging it, I mean, it's their prerogative.
Yeah. You become sure as an artist.
Yeah, it's just
Wrong-headed though that may be.
yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not sure in a way where I'm sure because I'm not hearing anything negative or all of the comments are welcoming. We put Black Jesus out online, and some people loved it, and some people did not like it at all. Um, but I found that like a really informative and kind of strengthening experience. Like,
Right.
okay, well, that's how you feel, and that's your opinion. You're entitled to it, and this is what we feel. And,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm really encouraged.
I think the track can grow,
I
sir.
do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
There's just big spaces in there that can
Yeah,
be filled
yeah,
musically.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to leave because I'm afraid my car is going to be towed.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's always important. But I'm really glad that we spent some time. I've long been a fan of the station. And
Would you like to rhyme anything about New Orleans here to
oh, about
close
New
out or
Orleans.
whatever?
Oh man. Uh,
Whatever you're feeling here and now.
well, I have been working on a new piece um called Wet Paint.
Sounds good.
Is it, cold showers don't bother me none, and neither do staring at the sun, the moon, your eyes, or the business angle of a loaded gun. Shade is just another color of the day. Wide spectrum, narrow escape. Two fate is one plate. Abandon and restraint. Wet paint.
Mm.
That's all I got so far, but it came to me.
It's going there.
And thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yasiin.
Thank you, man.
All
It's a
right.
pleasure.
It was real good.
I appreciate it. Thank
Okay.
you, man.